this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to the Werewolf Amazon Challenge in The Sims 4. We are officially entering Generation 2 of our cursed legacy. So yes, there is a whole story that's already been going on for these guys, and if you are interested, I'll link the playlist to Generation 1 in the description below. The Werewolf Amazon Challenge is my personal spin on the Amazon Challenge, which is a legacy-style playthrough where a founder establishes a clan of various females and maintains 10 generations of their bloodlines. Usually, the founder is a ruler with other females serving different roles in the clan. Children of a particular gender are favored, normally girls, and breedings cannot be repeated with the same partner twice. I've switched things up so that the royal court, or in my case, werewolf pack, swaps between all female and all male members every other generation. Now, let's go meet our characters for Generation 2. Our young cast of characters have settled into their new castle, rebuilt on the royal grounds by their alpha, King Elmer Curse. Born in a different reality and pulled from it into this one, Elmer appeared in the pack disjointed. The only one to know of his reality was Lord Earl Empire, the werewolf who accidentally disturbed a different dimension and swapped the young princes. He used his strange arcane knowledge to put a glamour on Elmer so that he appeared unchanged to the people around him. Now, Elmer rules as the royal pack's new alpha. Prince Harvey Curse grew up as an insecure child with a terrible secret. He thought he was a non-wolf, cursed to never know his werewolf form, but subject to all the rage and emotional swings of his bloodline. Until his teenage birthday proved his fears wrong, and he emerged as a golden wolf, bearing a deathly rivalry against his perfect older brother, Elmer. Now he serves as the matchmaker, choosing who breeds with who. Prince Ed Curse was an invisible child who stuck to the shadows and watched the drama unfold among his brothers from relative safety. But he was far from being ignored by the pack, getting love and friendship from everyone around him. In his teenage years, he became known as the party prince, who didn't really care about the power struggle. Now he serves as the kennel master, maintaining the welfare of werewolves around him and training the next generation. Lord Edwin Empire was a primal child with a natural inclination towards his werewolf side. He didn't mind getting dirty and running with the wolves, despite his mother's expectations for him to be more civilized. Still a teen, he is known as one of the most talented youths alongside his best friend Ed. Now, he serves as the shepherd, protecting and raising the little pups of the pack. Prince Charlie Curse had a mean bone in his body from the day he moved into the castle. He didn't have a problem arguing with everyone around him, and even became enemies with Elmer's father. It doesn't help that he's the most incompetent teenage prince, and has continuously ranked low in status and training. Now, he serves as one of 2 guard captains, keeping his subordinates in line and whipping them into shape for service to the crown. Lord Eugene Blades grew up as the previous alpha's stepson. He was intelligent from a young age and best friends with Elmer, who favored his focused personality. His head was always filled with studies until he fell in love with Ed in his teenage years, despite his mother's disapproval. Now, he serves alongside Charlie as one of 2 guard captains, sharing the best of his knowledge with his subordinates and guiding them to do their best. A few things I want to mention as we get started. Firstly, my lot setup with all the pack members. I have gotten the For Rent expansion, and using that have turned individual rooms into separate rentals occupied by the Royal Court, Wise Wolves, Royal Guard, She-Wolves, and Royal Den. By Royal Court, I mean the household that has the alpha. Wise Wolves, I'm talking about the females who served in court in the previous generation. Royal Guard, we should be familiar with. She-Wolves are The females who are going to participate in the matchmaking and the royal den, we know where our pups are going to be looked after. Everything aside the rooms are common areas, which means all the residents of the castle can use these areas of the lot as they see fit. I felt like this was the best way I could have all my important wolves and cast members in one lot. We'll experiment with this playstyle this gen and see how it works out. As for the match suitors from the previous generation, they live at and tend to the royal graveyard, which we will visit some other time in the future on a separate lot. Secondly, the way I'll be doing matchmaking will change slightly in this gen. The matchmaker now has a group of 7 she-wolves from which he will select 2 he has the highest relationship with to participate in the matches. I won't force them to interact and will let them autonomously develop their relationships. Victorious she-wolves will be removed from this group and new she-wolves added so that there is always a pool of 7 for the matchmaker to choose from. The current group is made up of daughters from 2 families that have been offered up in service to the royal court. These are the Goth and Kim families. The Goths have sent 4 of their daughters and the Kims have sent 3 of their daughters. I know a lot of you are interested in making Sims for me, and I appreciate that a lot. For now, I'm actually having a lot of fun making my own Sims, so I won't be taking in any submissions. If this changes in the future though, I'll be sure to let you know in one of the videos. How about we take some time to do a quick scan of the ladies that are currently in our matchmaking pool, because I feel like a lot of us would be curious who these daughters from the Goth and Kim families are. So I'm just going to quickly pull up their profiles so that we can attach a name to a face. Some of these characters you guys might know, but they've kind of been rebuilt, I suppose, for our fantasy realm, or our fantasy world. So we have Lady Daisy Goth over here. She is the first of the Goth daughters that have come here to participate in the werewolf breeding. Then we have Lady Cassandra Goth over here. We have Lady Bella Goth. So yes, in this reality, Cassandra and Bella are actually one of 4 Goth sisters, instead of mother and daughter, as we would typically know them to be. And finally, we have Lady Josephine Goth. So there we go. Some of these characters are familiar, some of them are unfamiliar, and even the ones that are familiar might have completely different relationships to what you guys may know or remember from, the original games. And then we have the Kim sisters. So we have Lady Vivian Kim over here. We have Lady Dora Kim. And finally, we have Lady Olivia Kim. So those are the females from our current pool of she-wolves that our matchmaker will be using to set up matches. You know what? Why don't we, before we head off to kind of the next section of gameplay, why don't we just see the castle, or where we got the castle from, because I feel like a lot of you guys would be curious about that as well, and this way you can download it in your own games and, play to your leisure. Obviously, I've gone ahead in my own game and made slight changes to suit the story that I'm trying to tell, or suit the gameplay that I have with certain werewolf customs. So those changes won't be in the lot that you download, but it is very, very similar. So there's nothing really you guys have to worry about. I'm so excited to get into gameplay with these guys because I am completely in love with the way our royal grounds have been remade by King Elmer. Of course, guys, I personally couldn't couldn't be bothered to actually go and build a lot. And to be honest, there's so many beautiful builds by really talented people out there. So I just found one and plopped it down and then made a bunch of changes. But I just can't wait. I've, definitely tested some things with the wolves and swapped some things out, but I just want to be in here. I just want to be playing with them and see all the crazy stuff they get up to, the cool stories that we can make. Before we go through our notes though, and in case you guys are new to the series and unfamiliar with what I mean by notes, I like to lock in some of the whims that my characters have to do with each other. So I don't prioritize, becoming friends because that takes a long time. I'd rather they autonomously do interactions and fulfill friendships or enemyships, whatever it is. But there are certain whims that I go through, just simple interactions that can be accomplished. And with those interactions that I lock in, like the whims that I lock in, I like to make a little note to do with the story, and that's going to help us kind of give context to their interaction rather than it just being like boring interactions we go through without any meaning. I attach stories and meaning to these interactions. So that's what the notes are. So I have 3 notes lined up for each of our characters that are in the royal court. And we will get into that because there's already drama happening. And I flippin' love seeing these guys do sword fighting, like from the get-go. That's a mod I have, a sword fighting mod, and I love it. Also, if you guys are interested in any of my cast items that I'm using for my Sims, if you're interested in the mods that I'm using in this series, I will have a link in the description of my mods and CC list. It's a Google document that has everything in it, so be sure to check that out if you are interested, if you're curious where to find things. Before we get into the notes though, I just wanted to show you guys this particular building over here, which is our throne room, because I didn't get to this beforehand. I'm not going to go through the different sections of the castle. We'll kind of just see that as we play with our werewolves. I don't want it to be like a really long and boring intro. I want to get to the interesting, spicy stuff as soon as possible. Some things will be exposed to, so I don't feel like that's necessary. But I wanted to show you the throne room. So this is where we have our throne room. It actually, in the original build, I think was a sort of chapel or church, and I just converted that to the throne room. And I wanted to show this to you guys because we have the portrait of our previous alpha who passed away in the very last episode of the previous season. We have her portrait over here. So this was King Elma's mother, Queen Julia Curse. And then we have the portrait of our new alpha over here, King Elma Curse. So I felt like it was important to kind of see those two side by side. I just want to show you guys that because it's fun, it's exciting. Okay, so let's dive into our notes and start fulfilling some whims, guys. Okay, Ed, let's see what you have going on. Ed, guys, wants to be friendly with Charlie and ask how he and Eugene are fitting into their roles of being guard captains. Ed's been keeping a distance from his fated mate Eugene since the latter part of his teen years, and he still hasn't come to terms with giving up his party lifestyle for any serious sort of commitment. So he'd rather check in on him through his younger brother, Charlie. So why don't we go ahead and do this particular want? Oh, perfect. He's like actually talking to him and chatting with him and kind of fulfilling the want without me having to? Don't you love it when your Sims do that? When we're on the same page. Okay, let's go here. Maybe let's have a deep conversation. We'll do a deep conversation. Can we line that up? Hold on. Line up my deep conversation! Charlie, I don't know where you're going, but you need to calm down, dude. Or maybe share werewolf experiences. I mean, he's done nothing that is not calm, but he needs to stop because we want to socialize with him. Okay, Charlie. There we go. Now, these two males, I feel like, guys, are the most attractive werewolves we have in the pack. I just love Charlie and Ed. They're just so good looking to me. Actually, why don't you guys let me know which male werewolf you like best so far? And even out of the she-wolves we've seen, which she-wolf do you like the best? I think it'll be very interesting to know everyone's preferences. Okay, they're being friendly. I thought there was a flirt happening, but then I realized they're brothers, so like that can't happen. That can't happen. Okay, why don't we go and check up on Harvey, because Harvey has something here as well. A matchmaker, a bit of a, evil psycho matchmaker. Okay, you dance and talk to the staircase. That is fine. He, guys, wants to flirt with Dora, one of the she-wolves that have been offered up to the royal court by the Kim family. He's taken a liking to her and might be thinking of putting her aside for himself. She's got a nice, sturdy look, and Harvey feels as though she'll give him strong offspring. In case you're wondering, this is Dora right here. So why don't we get him to come? Okay, hold on. He's gonna go talk to Vivian? Okay, no. Maybe he was gonna go sword fight with Vivian. I apologize, but you need to come and flirt with her. I don't know how she's gonna take this. He's gonna try though. He's gonna try. So let's go. Leave Vivian. Go to Dora, since she's the one who's on your mind. So let's go to Dora. Let's socialize with her. Throw a bit of a flirt. Now Harvey's never had any sort of romantic relationship with anyone growing up. Oh, it's awkward. She didn't reciprocate so much? Okay, I suppose not. I have been absolutely terrified from the time Harvey became a matchmaker. I didn't know what he was going to do. In fact, Charlie, the brother that I was just talking to here with Ed, he's mean, right? So he's the one that basically cannot control his mouth, just goes around being mean and petty to everyone. So I actually thought that Charlie wasn't gonna last that long in the pack. I mean, it's chapter 1, so we don't know really. But I, had a feeling all throughout Generation 1 that he was gonna get, he was gonna get killed first because he just cannot control himself. So I figured that Charlie, he'd get into trouble one way or the other. He's kind of been okay though. Somehow he's been controlling himself. He's somehow managed to maintain a good relationship with his pack members, particularly his alpha. The one I wasn't worried about really was Harvey, even though we kind of found out, or not found out, but we do know from, the character intros that he has had this rivalry with Elma since he was a teenager, and that's never been resolved really. He had his eye on becoming alpha, and then he lost, which would have been terribly, terribly embarrassing for him. Actually, I don't even think, it's not that he lost because he didn't even get a chance. None of Elma's brothers got a chance because Elma was the first one to challenge his mother, and he won the first time. So there was no room for anyone else. And Harvey had spent so long training and scheming and thinking of ways to sabotage all of his brothers pretty much, but mostly Elma. So, he's had that rivalry, but he's also evil, yes. And with that, it comes with a certain amount of intelligence and control, right? So he's always masked his dislike for Elma and has never let Elma kind of see that. So I've never been worried about him getting on the alpha's bad side. As you guys will find out throughout us playing, there are certain rules that I have, werewolf customs, which we've kind of worked out over the course of playing Generation 1. So certain, interactions and behaviors do have consequences. And I am giving you guys this context because of our next note with Elma. Elma, guys, wants to become enemies with Harvey. And this, in werewolf terminology, means a death sentence. So yes, we are starting off chapter 1 with an execution. So with my werewolves, I was talking about the whims and how I don't complete friendship whims because it takes so long to do. And, if the Sims have wishes like be friendly with one another, then I prefer doing that whenever they want to, and then having them autonomously interact, and over time they'll become friends anyways, right? But certain interactions I allow. For example, become disliked, I do fulfill those. Become enemies, I definitely fulfill those, because under certain circumstances, that has a consequence. So in my series, when the alpha becomes enemies with someone, he is giving them a death sentence. He is ordering the execution. So that's what it means. When an evil sim becomes enemies with someone else, the evil sim will murder that other werewolf. So they will kill because they cannot control their rage. Due to their evil trait, they cannot control their rage. And that is the consequence of an evil werewolf becoming enemies with someone. Or what else do we have? If we have any other werewolves that become enemies, I mean, it ruins, their relationship, but it doesn't have as serious of a consequence compared to alphas and evil sims. The other thing you guys have to be aware of, if we have a sim that is the same gender as the alpha, who has the kleptomaniac trait, it means they can actually overthrow the alpha. So certain traits have the abilities and the powers to do certain things. And then, the alpha's role has the ability to do a whole bunch of other things. So anyways, let's go through Elma's note over here. So Elma wants to become enemies with Harvey and subdue the menace his younger brother is quickly becoming. There was never any doubt in their brotherhood growing up, but ever since Elma became alpha, Harvey's attitude has changed drastically. Elma's come to realize how much venom Harvey is hiding in his heart, and he's worried about the danger it will pose to the pack if left to grow. It's a difficult decision, but he wants his first act as alpha to make a strong impression on the werewolves that follow him. So this is literally, the first thing that he's doing after becoming alpha. He wants to let the werewolves know that standing up to the alpha, or I suppose defying the alpha, because Elma doesn't see himself as a tyrant, and of course he isn't a tyrant. He's actually the most caring and, kindest werewolf that we have in his generation. He is showing people that if you defy the peace that I have set up, if you defy me and disturb the peace, then there will be a consequence. We don't have room for these type of people in the pack, even if it is my brother. So on that note, why don't I quickly show you guys just the royal family tree, so you guys are aware of, the order in which these boys were born. So we have Queen Julia Kirst, who was our founder and the very first alpha. She had 5 children. All of them were sons. Now, each of these boys have a different father, because one of the Amazon rules is that you cannot repeat, or you cannot have a child, like more than one child. Oh, well, that doesn't make sense. You cannot breed with a sim more than once. And for me, that means that once our alpha has managed to either get pregnant by or get a she-wolf pregnant, they cannot basically mate with that particular sim for the purpose of offspring again. So obviously if they have multiples, then you'll have, werewolf pups that are full-blooded siblings and share the same parents. But for the most part, we do have half siblings. So all our siblings here are half siblings, basically. So anyways, Julia's first son and child was Prince Alfred Kirst, and he actually died as, I think, a teen. He was poisoned to death by someone who wanted to overthrow the alpha, and then Elma actually poisoned that other sim that killed his brother. So that was something that happened, and obviously the whole fiasco has been a secret that Elma's kept to himself, and the only other person who knows is actually, who was it? Lord Earl Empire. So the sim that, if you guys paid attention to the character intro, the sim who accidentally summoned Elma to this dimension, because Elma's actually Elma from a different dimension or a different reality. The Lord who summoned him on accident to this one, his sister is the werewolf who wanted to overthrow the Alpha. So years afterwards, Elma actually had a, heart-to-heart with Lord Earl, and he kind of told him all the secrets regarding Alfred's death and what Lily was trying to do and all of that. So they are at peace with one another. But yeah, that's a lot of drama. So he was the second son. Then we had Harvey, who was the third son. So Harvey's the third son. And then we had the fourth son, Prince Ed, and then the youngest, the fifth, Prince Charlie Curse. I also did mention that Charlie over here became enemies with Elma's father as soon as he moved into the castle. And yes, that is an enemy ship that is still active, but obviously because neither of them have the evil trait or because they're not alphas, there is no consequence to that particular thing. So anyways, why don't we actually gather everyone together and have our first ever execution? I am so sad. I'm not gonna lie. Harvey was one of my favorite characters in the previous, of his generation. He was one of my favorite boys. Personality-wise, he was just so interesting, and I was very excited to see what he was going to do in this gen, and I was excited to see the matches he was going to make. We were so nervous that Harvey became matchmaker, because come on, this evil guy is going to pull all the strings. He's going to dictate, essentially, the way the bloodlines turn out, because he is choosing the females you're potentially going to have offspring by, right? And the genetics that are going to pass on in that regard, and the families that are going to be able to make connections. And because, these Sims, they're sisters, some of their children among the boys might be related. So anyways, this made us very nervous, controlling future bloodlines and such through breeding. But it seems as though Harvey just autonomously has been arguing so much with Elma while I've been setting up, that by the time I checked in with these guys, literally the first note Elma had was to execute him. I'm completely heartbroken, but that is the way of it. That's just the way things have to happen. So let me get his execution set up. I'm so heartbroken we won't be able to see him do any matches. I was hoping we'd get, at least one match in before he died. But no, this note came up so soon, I didn't even have time to prepare. So let's go to Harvey's execution. And actually, this probably is going to be a great segue for us to go visit the Royal Graveyard. We have prepared our werewolves for Harvey's execution. Whoever else wants to attend can attend. They're not obligated to, except obviously for our royal court. We have gotten Harvey to hand over control to Elma of the she-wolves so that the new matchmaker can be assigned that when, he arrives to join the royal court. But this is gonna be the execution patch. I mean, we even have these gravestones here, so I feel like it's kind of perfect. So this is where, the real dark stuff's gonna go down. So his method of death is gonna be different to the way we were doing executions in the previous generation. So this time around, what I'm going to do is death by, we're gonna do death by vicious killer rabbit, but the way I'm explaining this in our story is that the alpha is projecting his werewolf spirit and using that to kill Harvey, because we can't see the vicious killer rabbit, it's invisible. So yeah, that's what we're gonna say. The alpha's projecting his werewolf spirit and he is delivering the death blow for Harvey's execution. So let's go and see this go down, guys. Oh my goodness. Poor Harvey. He didn't even have a chance to find his way. He didn't even have a chance. But that was such a deathly mistake, to be honest. To ruin your relationship with the alpha. I mean, anyone else. Yes, Harvey's evil, and I did say that evil Sims, when they become enemies with someone, could murder them. So if you guys are wondering about why he didn't murder the alpha, it's because I set the alpha's rule before I set the evil Sim rule. So I feel like the alpha's rule trumps the evil trait. So basically, if an evil sim and an alpha become enemies, the alpha immediately announces the execution, so the evil sim doesn't have a chance to plot the alpha's death and potentially kill him. That's the way it works in my mind. So unfortunately, Harvey he could not contain his jealousy. He could not contain it, and it all came out. And look, guys, we have Helen. She was our previous kennel master. I don't know where the grave went. Maybe in the family inventory. But that's Helen. She is Edwin's mother from the previous generation. So she was kennel master, and her son actually wanted, I feel like, to become kennel master. He was most suited. But he became the shepherd, and that's an honorable thing as well. Now, where the heck did the urn go? I want to know where the urn went. Family inventory? Wait, what? Where the flip did our urn go? Maybe it wasn't wise. Maybe it wasn't wise to have his death here? Oh no. Oh no. Where the heck did his urn go? There's like nothing left. I'm supposed to add him to the... What? Hold on. Wait, no. Wait, he's not... I don't see him anywhere. I didn't even save before his death because I'm a silly goose. Oh my goodness. Well, if that's gonna be a thing... Or his urn. I'm pretty sure werewolves have like a blue urn. And I don't see the urn. So I don't know where the heck it could have gone. Oh my goodness. How are we gonna add him to the graveyard if I don't know where the hell his urn is? Okay, well, I obviously should have thought through things, and I didn't. Yeah, it's not here. Well, guys, maybe we aren't gonna have executions in the execution patch, or I'm just gonna have to, like, remove everything in the patch and make it blank and just have this as the execution area. I might have to do that because we lost Harvey. I'm sad. We might have to put like a makeshift grave for Harvey. Or maybe the alpha was just so angry at his brother, he literally turned his brother's ashes or threw it in the wind. Who knows? Maybe. But if he is lost here, then definitely his urn, who knows, maybe it's hidden somewhere in this lot. Maybe his spirit, you know what, maybe Harvey's spirit is just tied to the royal grounds and we cannot move it to another lot. Maybe when the next alpha decides to change rebuild the royal grounds again, then we'll find Harvey's ashes and be able to finally remove it. Maybe. That's a bit twisty, though. I'm either gonna have to, clean up the patch and then do executions here, or I'm just gonna have to move executions to the throne room, which I'm actually thinking might be the better option. I might do it there from next time. This is the place we have for our matches to take place, where our werewolves will fight for breeding rights, and I would rather keep it for that. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. The pack has gathered at the werewolf arena for its first match for breeding rights with the alpha. The new matchmaker, Lord Denny Spencer, has chosen 2 of his most favored she-wolves to participate in the match. Lord Denny hails from a specialist family of ornithologists. Bird study wasn't exactly his area of interest, and to be honest, he was getting fed up of being thrown in with other strange researchers in his house. Unwilling to subject himself to painful hours observing and writing research papers on birds, he took the first chance he could get to become a matchmaker in the royal court. His traits are neat, perfectionist, and loves the outdoors. In terms of his genetics, he's got lighter warm skin, dark brown eyes, and black hair. His werewolf bloodline carries golden eyes. This is another thing I want to mention. In the previous season, some of you lovelies said I should have a unique characteristic for each bloodline, like coat color or tattoo. What I've decided is that every line will have a shared eye color in their werewolf form. The current bloodline colors are brown for the Cursed family, orange for the Blades family, fire for the Empire family, red for the Goth family, dark orange for the Kim family, and gold for the Spencer family. The she-wolves chosen for the pack's first match are Lady Bella Goth and Lady Daisy Goth. Both sisters have medium warm skin, light green eyes, and black hair. So the way I do my genetics is that the daughters inherit everything from their mother and the sons inherit everything from their father. And in this generation, we are hoping to have daughters because according to the balance of Sol and Loon, I'm pretty sure it's called, which is, particular to my werewolf culture that I have going. Kings can only pass the throne to the daughters, and queens can only pass the throne to their sons. So we kind of change the ruling gender every generation. So this time around, we want daughters. So I am realizing very quickly that it means, based on our current pool, all the daughters are going to have black hair. But hey, black hair is cool. I don't think it's something we had in the previous generation. We had every color other than black. So I'm excited. I actually want to take a close-up of Denny's face. So let's see. So here we go, guys. This is Lord Denny. This is Lord Denny right over here. We've already kind of talked about his genetics, but there we go. I think he is a very cool addition, and his family's kind of unique. Basically, they research birds, and he didn't like that. He didn't like being holed up. He loves the outdoors. He wants to be out. He wants to be running around. He wants to do something a bit more casual, potentially romantic, like matchmaking. He wants to be more of a people person, but not in the way that his family was. They had strange, researchers living in their home with them, and half the time he didn't even know these people, and it was very uncomfortable because, there's random people just barging into his room to observe birds through his windows. So he definitely didn't want that sort of life, and he left it behind because they didn't want to follow in the family trade, basically. So that's why he's here. Interesting thing in terms of these ladies who are going to be matching with basically Elma, because Elma, guys, his birthday into an adult is going to be on Sunday, and he does not even have a child. He has no offspring, and as the alpha, he needs to have some princesses or princes. He needs to have offspring to carry on the bloodline, right, and to pass on his throne to. So we definitely need to get a move on with this, which is why I didn't even wait that long before we had the matches started. And he actually has light green eyes as well, so it doesn't matter which lady he gets matched with, or if they have a boy or girl, the child is going to have light green eyes because both parents have light green eyes. But he does have a reddish brown hair, so he's a redhead essentially. So if he has a son, his son is going to have the red hair, but if he has a daughter, his daughter is going to have the mother's black hair. So okay, I want to take a close-up look at our two ladies over here before we get them to transition, and then we have them fighting each other. So we have Bella Goth. I feel like she probably is, among the current suitors, kind of known as one of the most beautiful females. And then her other sister, not so much. This is Daisy Goth. So I don't know the order of ages. They're definitely not quadruplets because they all look vastly different. But I feel like in the Goth family, they have the two prettiest sisters, which is Bella and Cassandra, and then the sisters who are not so pretty. But regardless, I feel like Daisy, though, has a very strong presence. So I kind of like that. She's got unique features and strong presence. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. The sad thing about participating or being chosen for matches is that you will end up hating the guts of whoever you went up against. So up till this point, these sisters have had a pretty solid, relationship with each other, but that's going to be completely destroyed after this. completely and utterly destroyed. So okay, let me start the transitions for these guys. And a maximum. Oh no. Elma, please don't transform. Right, I forgot about this. I have to be on the sim to trigger their transitions. So I'll go ahead and do that. And let's have a look. Okay, guys. We have our she-wolves transforming. And I can't remember what their werewolf forms look like, so this is going to be interesting. Ooh, look at that. I feel like Daisy has the cooler looking wolf form. But actually, if we look at their eyes, well, they're raging, so we can't see it. We can't see it because they're raging so much. But if we look past the raging, they have the red, like bloodline color in their werewolf form. So all the goth sisters have this red eye from their bloodline. And in terms of the bloodline eyes, I'll do that according to the names. So regardless of whether it's a boy or a girl, the children will take the names of their fathers in this generation. Last generation, they took the names of their mothers. So this generation, the males are dominant, so they're going to take the names of their fathers. And so they'll have the eye color, the werewolf bloodline color of their father. So that's the way I'm doing it. Sometimes you guys will be confused by the way, you know, genetics and all these things work, but just bear with me. I'm fairly confident that as we play through, you'll kind of start getting the hang of things. It's a lot of information to process if you are not sure. Like if you don't know how it goes, basically. If you've come from season 1, then you'll know this inside out, but it gets really easy as we do it. Things justify themselves. But Bella, since she's the kind of first match suitor, or you know, in this generation we're kind of calling them she-wolves, she is gonna... Please tell me she can brawl. Yes, she is gonna initiate the brawl. So I'll go ahead and do that. And just to show you guys, I kind of just, as soon as Lord Denny moved in, I started a gathering with the she-wolves, and basically I just let the game run on speed 3 until he gave me 2 females who he had the most relationship with. And as you can see over here, it's quite close between all of them, but he did have the highest relationship with Bella and Daisy, which is why Bella and Daisy were chosen. So this is based on his autonomous interactions, and to be honest, I like this a lot better than what we had last season, because I was making 2 male sims, but you know, I was making 2 sims and then putting them in matches together. But at least this way, the matchmaker actually has some control to, you know, do their role. So I do like it, and it adds more of an element of randomization. So okay, let's go ahead. Bella, I'm just gonna... Oh, are they still raging? Are they gonna like start? Yes, okay, they're gonna start raging. Okay, I can actually show you guys the red eye if I just reset them for a tad bit. So there we go, you can see they both have the same red eyes that is in their bloodline. But yeah, let me know which werewolf form, or which female's werewolf form you like better. I actually think Daisy has the cooler, in my opinion, werewolf form. But okay, let's get this started, and let's see what goes down. I am so sorry that your relationship as sisters is about to be destroyed. Okay, can you come here? Sometimes it takes a bit of effort to finagle them into a spot where they can actually spar with each other. But I'm just gonna move them around a little bit. I'm pretty sure this area is big enough for them to fight. Can we do it? Nope. Come on, come on. We just have to find a place here that's gonna work. But I'm telling you, it should work. I haven't play tested it, but I'm hoping it's gonna work. Oh, come on. Come on. Usually when the 2 of them, they kind of like find a position for themselves, then you know it's gonna work. Not in this particular way. Why you gotta be so difficult? Surely it's gonna work. Come on. And no, what? You do not have a job. They do not have a job. They should not, at least, have a job. Come on, guys. Cooperate. Cooperate. I might have to, like, get the battle started and then jump in, because it's taking me a little bit to figure this out. Okay, I think we've got it under control. So all I had to do was delete, like, the decoration inside and a tree that we had on the left. Oh, wait, hold on. I might have to decorate this floating ghost. Okay, yeah, I just had to delete those, and then I had to just teleport them to, like, opposite sides of the arena and then get Bella to initiate the battle. So now I think they have the hang of it. So let's go ahead and see. I have no clue who's gonna win, but that's the excitement of it. Okay, looks like Bella's kind of in control right now. She seems... Oh, never mind. No, she is. I think Bella might win, guys. She seems to be doing very, very well. She's, like, thrashing her sister. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Well, oh. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect Daisy to win. Well, look at that. Daisy is the victor, guys. Their relationship is probably destroyed at this point, but hey, at least Daisy got to match with the alpha. Nice! Good work. Okay, excellent. As soon as they calm down from this kind of rage, I am gonna get Daisy and Elma together, and then we'll get Daisy to conceive. Bella will be moved out back to where the other she-wolves are. You know, she'll be moved back with the other she-wolves, and we'll actually keep Daisy in the household till she gives birth to the baby. So, I will see you guys in a second. Guys, I was trying to get these two romantic so that we can kind of move on to the breeding part, and I discovered something shocking. So in his very first flirtatious interaction with Daisy over here, he suddenly had like a really tense moodlet, and I was wondering why that was. I hovered over it and it said not meant to be from flirting with someone other than your fated mate. Something feels indescribably wrong about all of this. Can King Elmer defy fate? And the thing is, in all of the Lost Generation, we have not seen Elmer get with anybody. So in the previous season, when we left off, he had no fated mate. So I was really confused, and I checked his relationship panel. Guess who his flippin' fated mate is? It is Lord Ben Empire. Lord Ben Empire, Edwin's uncle and Helen's brother, who never participated in any of the matches. Actually, no, he did. He was called in, I think, towards the end, but he lost, and then we never had a breeding afterwards, so he's never actually sired any children, and he never will. But he's from the previous generation. He's an adult, and he's the alpha's mate. Like, what? He's gonna die soon. I mean, okay, to be fair, Elma's gonna turn into an adult fairly soon. He's actually the oldest in his generation, like in generation 2. I'm talking about, you know, the alpha here. So there is that. I suppose in terms of age gap, I suppose they don't have the biggest age gap, because Ben was the last male, like generation 1 match suitor to be brought into the series. And then Elma's the oldest child in Generation 2, so they probably have the, you know, least amount of age gap Sims of 2 different generations can possibly have, but still, it blows my mind. I was hoping that Elma, and actually all of our boys who are not currently involved with anyone, I was hoping they would find their fated mates amongst each other, or, you know, the she-wolves, not someone from a bygone era, but apparently the game has other plans. So the alpha is with Ben, and Ben doesn't even, like, live here. I was hoping it'd be someone who lives on the lot, you know, on the royal grounds. And oh my goodness, now that the snow has lifted, look at the ground. Whoa, that is amazing. Actually, winter's not even over. It's like the beginning of winter. Oh no, I thought that was the ground. It's not the ground, it's the water. Oh. Oh. The winters has made the water all icy, everyone. I literally thought this was the path going up to the castle grounds for a second there. Like, I thought it was stone, you know, cobblestone. I didn't realize it was ice, but that is so cool. That is actually so cool. Okay, well, and apparently no fishing can be done because yes, it's freezing. The pond is frozen. Whoa. Okay, well, before these guys start biting each other's heads off, because they were very close to doing that. In fact, Daisy was telling Elma off, and then I had to back up a bit and get them in a good mood again. So, let's see if we can actually... Okay, we might have to line up a few other interactions. It might not be high enough just yet. Do we have... I don't know, like, where else... I mean, they have the royal chambers. We can just go up and woohoo up there. I don't think we have a place to woohoo down here anywhere. So we'll take them up as soon as we are able. But this is Helen, guys. I haven't seen Ada. Ada is on the grounds as well. She's got a room with Helen over here. Hold on. So she's actually got a room with Helen up here. That's kind of their assigned room. And then, in terms of these guys, so this is the room we have assigned to, you know, the Alpha / the Royal Court. And then we have this room for, I think, the She-Wolves, and then the Royal Den is assigned to this room, and then we have the Royal Guard assigned to this particular room. And I don't mind that it's just rooms, because in my eyes, every member who lives here has access to the whole castle and like all the space around here. So there are, you know, invisible facilities that they can use. It's just, you know, to simplify things, I didn't want to section off, like, literally these entire locations and give them off to each of the roles, even though I could have, because I actually wanted access to all of these buildings. I'd rather not have access to individual rooms, but be able to see what's going on in all the buildings. But anyways, this right here is oh no, this is not Helen. I mistook you for Helen. This is Josephine. Okay, well, we saw Helen not too long ago. I am pretty sure we did. I hope we did. I think we did. We did see Helen. So we do know of her. But that's very surprising to me. I'm kind of gobsmacked. But yeah, Lord Ben, he doesn't live here. He lives at the graveyard with the other match suitors. So I suppose they'll have to just... And they don't even have like any common circles. So it's not as though they're going to be able to visit each other unless we go to the graveyard. Maybe that's going to be the times when Elma steals, you know, some romantic moments with his fated mate. But I swear, everyone either has a tragic end or they're just fated to live apart from one another. It's miserable. It is miserable. We haven't had a single happy fated pairing yet in our series, guys. Not a single one. The current one that is, you know, in process, suppose, are these two. Ed in green and Eugene in yellow. They are stepbrothers and they're also fated mates. So, you know, there is that, but it's not going too smoothly. They did have a lovey-dovey phase in the last generation, but then towards, you know, the latter half of his teenage years, Ed kind of wanted space, and he's been maintaining that space. I think Eugene became a bit too clingy for him, and he was fascinated by the whole thing, but then he kind of is happy being on his own right now. So, I don't know what's going on there. They're basically the only ones we currently have to vie for. Okay. Apparently we have a bush somewhere here where things could happen. Where is this? Just out of curiosity, like, where is this? I don't know where it is. Okay, they're going off. Is it that green one over there that I'm seeing? Or is it indoors somewhere? I don't think it's indoors. It must be that green one. It is the green one. Okay. Well, this is actually quite convenient because, oh, look, there's a fish. Oh, geez, there's a fishing spot here is what I'm trying to say. That's nice. I didn't pay attention to that before. So here we go. This is very, very convenient. The werewolves are quite wild about it, so I suppose we could just use this, or we could take them up to, you know, the king's quarters. Either or. That is fine. Either or. The other thing I'm realizing, I could go ahead and just make like a public room maybe with beds for our werewolves, like extra beds for our werewolves. I could, you know, definitely adjust things as we go forward. Still have them assigned to those rooms, of course, but then in the shared space, put like extra beds, maybe extra facilities for the youngsters and the children. I might actually go ahead and do that. Perhaps, you know, building underground. So we could kind of see that in the works, but I didn't want to waste time setting up even more than I already have. I just wanted to come here and play. So that's my reason for not waiting. Okay, let's come here and take a test. No? Do we not want to take testies? Come on. Do you not want to take a test? Where's the other restroom? It's over here. She can throw up, but she can't. Okay, well, go throw up then. She can throw up, but apparently she cannot go and take a test. I don't know why that is. I don't know why that is. And this is like the same save file from last generation, so we shouldn't have any problems in terms of like taking tests and stuff. Huh. I don't know what the deal is with that. If I get her to throw up like 3 times, is that gonna trigger that I woohooed a werewolf? Yes, you are a werewolf, honey. You are one too. I'm wondering, is 3 times gonna, you know, do the charm? Is she gonna realize that she's expectant? Because it seems as though like she hasn't eaten anything that should give her food poisoning. Okay, she's thrown up 3 times, but we're not getting any sort of indication. Is it this particular bathroom that is not cooperating? What if I take her like in here somewhere? No, I cannot take a test. I wonder why that is. Is it something in my... Oh, geez. Is it in the settings, in my options? Let's check. What does this say? I shouldn't have... I shouldn't have any of these messed up. Maybe we should jump back when she like gives us a clear indication on whether she was successful or it failed, because once I do have it confirmed, I like putting it on the calendar, like the due date on the calendar, so that we know when exactly the baby's arriving. So let's wait a bit and jump back in when she's ready to tell us what the deal is. Okay, for whatever reason, I could not take the test, so I just had to speed through until Lady Daisy was showing, and she is now in her first trimester. We can see that little bump over there, so that's excellent. I've gone ahead and put her due date on the calendar, so she's going to be having her first pup and the first royal pup on Tuesday at 10 a.m. So that's going to be exciting for us. I have put some bassinets in one of the rooms of the castle. So this particular room here had a cauldron, which obviously we're not going to use because we are not witches, any of us here, you know, spellcasters. So I just put in some bassinets. So this is kind of going to be the birth chamber for our werewolves. So I'm really excited about that. And now that I think about it, I feel like Daisy's face matches really well with Elma's face, because Elma has a very like Disney prince sort of look, like a pretty boy kind of look with his features. So I think we'll get a really interesting offspring between the two of them, which I am quite excited for. Obviously, Elma is hoping for a girl, and he needs a princess, so we need to have princesses, really. But, you know, any child that adds to the family line will be quite a joyous occasion for us. So that should be pretty exciting for everyone. And how is everyone going? Now, I checked in on Daisy, guys, and look at this. She and Bella, they do not get along well at all. These careers, I'm probably going to have to go ahead and delete when I play them. I don't know if they acquired careers on their own or if they already had careers. I'm not entirely sure. I make these sims in a separate save file and then I move them over here. So maybe they had careers in the other save file, or they acquired careers and I just forgot to, you know, get rid of it. But that's fine. As long as it doesn't affect me, that's okay. I can always get her to quit, like, you know, if Bella ever is with us and falls pregnant, then that's something we can work on then. But I'm sad that she dislikes. I think I'll be even sadder if Bella and Cassandra ever go up against each other and end up disliking one another. Because out of everyone, I want them to have a good, you know, sister relationship. Anyways, I still cannot believe, guys, this whole Elma and Ben business. Like, when are you ever gonna see Ben? When are you ever gonna see Ben? I don't know. And in case you haven't figured the names out yet, if it's still confusing. So Elma's fated mate Ben over here is the maternal uncle of Edwin, our shepherd. So yeah, it's a little bit awkward, isn't it? Just a little bit. I've also gone ahead and given all the ladies the polyamorous treat. What was that? Did you guys see that? She blew a kiss towards him and he was like, nah. He waved his finger at her. That was mean, Elma. That was mean. Anyways, guys, I think this would be a good time. Actually, before we go. Unfortunately, off camera, we lost one of our horses. So yes, we are also playing with horses. I do not have them in the household currently because I was really focused on, you know, getting the werewolf pack and, you know, their stories underway. But I suppose I could move our horse back in. Like, I could move our horses in until Tuesday when Daisy's ready to give birth and then move them back out. So that should be fine. I will do that, in fact, but maybe from the next chapter, I think we'll introduce our horses. I mean, that's why we have, like, all of these facilities. Yes, we do play with horses. So while the, you know, pack has been settling in, I've actually moved... Oh, look, it's Ada! It's Ada! Let's look at our beautiful Ada. So this here is Ada. She was the previous generation's matchmaker. She's actually Eugene's mother. And she was married to the previous alpha. So she is stepmother to all the princes. But yeah, she was never really happy with Eugene and Ed's relationship because she actually wanted her son Eugene to be with Elma. She thought Elma had more potential, and well, it turns out he did, but still. Now, as I was saying, I have gotten the horses under the wise wolves' care. So I like to consider the wolves who served under the previous alpha as the wise wolves. So right now we have Ada and we have Helen, and they both were looking after the two horses we had, which was, I think, Twilight passed away in the previous generation. We're looking at Wizard, and so Wizard was Twilight's mate, and then their son, they had a colt who aged up into a stallion named Stone. So the wise wolves have been looking after Stone and Wizard, but we got a notification that Wizard passed away off camera, unfortunately. So what I might do in the next chapter is make a brand new horse to be Stone's mate. So we'll probably have, you know, female horse, a mare, and then we'll move both of them back in with the royal court, and we might get into some horse riding and all of that. So, okay guys, with that said and done, I'm going to leave off. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed and that you're excited for Generation 2. If this is completely new to you, feel free to check out Generation 1. But okay, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.